Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to twitch.tv/MurdaRG, and you are watching the ReGen Invitational 3. Tonight we got a thrilling matchup between the number 2 seed ReGen Phoenix and the number 15 seed Illidancing Queens here in the Invitational bracket. And joining me tonight, my good friend, my longtime pal from ReGen Retro, it's Altanian. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you here with me. We're getting to cast a ReGen squad up against another squad here, Illidancing Queens. I'm quite a fan of myself. They got Dax on this squad. They got Born to Shine on this squad. You might know Pina Colada and Yotaru and Sestrin. Let's go. We got some huge action here in round number 1, the round of 16. Teams are in our lobby. I'm going to let them know I'm ready to go. But before we get going, let's talk about these bans, Alt. ReGen Phoenix took away Braxis Holdout and Alterac Pass. The Illidancing Queens banned away Dragonshire and Battlefield of Eternity. And as you can see, Alt, here for game number 1, we're heading into Towers of Doom. Any thoughts on this map before we get started?
Yeah, so haven't seen these teams play too much. I think I casted Phoenix once before, so I don't know whether these teams are not, whether like to play aggressive, like dive or poke comps, both of which would be good on this map here. Looks like they're getting ready. Starting it now.
Oh, was my microphone muted? Whoops. I hit the mute button. I thought I hit unmute. Now I was sitting there talking. You guys can probably see my lips moving. But here we go. It's the game number 1 draft. Apologies there, Alt.
All is good.
So this was the map selection of ReGen Phoenix. I got to chat with Arrow and Born to Shine before we got started here, and it looked like some pretty smart bans from Born. She took away that Dragonshire and BOE, and Arrow was like, hey, those are the 2 maps I wanted to pick. What am I going to do now? But ultimately, Arrow decided on this Towers of Doom selection. I think it's a pretty exciting map because it's one of the maps that really has remained unchanged over the time since HGC has disappeared.
Yeah, and it will, after yesterday's PTR, it's pretty much going to feel unchanged still, with the exception of the new fort targeting. But, I mean, you can't go into the core, so there's no change there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. First ban, Illidancing Queens taking away Arrow's Johanna. Of course, Arrow has been playing this tank role on ReGen Phoenix over the past couple seasons, and formerly of ReGen Red, the last time he was able to participate here in the ReGen Invitational back after Season 5. It was Arrow on ReGen Red leading them in that event, and ultimately it didn't work out as planned, but they ended up winning a NGS championship not too long after. So whether you're a new team, an old team, the ReGen Invitational could be a great place to get your squad started and maybe parlay it into a very successful NGS campaign. And we're just about a week or 2 away from Season 9, Ult.
So we saw the Anduin bans on the side of ReGen Phoenix. So with that Malthael ban, I expect to see maybe a Deathwing ban here, but that means the other team's going to get probably Azul. We're going to see one of those 2 this game.
Yeah, so curious that they took away the Anduin, knowing that both of those heroes would be available if they didn't decide to ban one themselves. So you're exactly right. Deathwing available. Do they take it here at the first pick? They're going to have 20 seconds to make that decision, and I don't see reason not to. I mean, the hero's just so good. He really shouldn't ever die, which is probably the coolest part about Deathwing.
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, they did ban the Mouthfeel too. They were kind of anticipating it, but they leave it up.
Well, they do take away an ETC, another one of Arrow's favorite tanks to play, so maybe wise there to choke out the captain of ReGen Phoenix. But now they have the decision for themselves. Do they want the Deathwing, or are we just not going to see this hero at all? Because I think if they don't select it now, you can probably count on neither team wanting to pick it up for the rest of the draft. But 5 seconds, and we'll see what that decision is. It's going to be Garrosh and Greymane, so maybe a bit of defense in the event that Deathwing is chosen. The Greymane with that Cursed Bullet could be a great defensive tool for that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We haven't seen him in the first two kind of pick rotations because he's got really good stall on the objective. You just go into ranged form, and your W is able to cover like half of the actual cap point, and it has a kind of infinite uptime on it.
Rhaegar, Sylvanas, and this is another fantastic hero with Sylvanas being picked up. She's going to be able to dominate that bottom lane, and ult, you know, we got those sappers down there if she wants to go into Merc Queen. A bit of extra damage, and speaking of changes coming to the game, Sylvanas is about to enter the triple S tier with those black arrows, shutting down turrets and allowing you to enable a push even if there's enemy heroes nearby. Maybe be considered strong now, but it's going to be even stronger when that patch hits.
Yeah, so there we see the ban on the Deathwing. Just looks like no one wants to play him.
Wise ban, perhaps? Thought maybe they had set themselves up nicely just having that Greymane, but wanting to ban it out anyway is ReGen Phoenix. Final ban now belongs to Illidancing Queens. And they're going to take away the Stukov. So, I know Stukov, a hero that had been played extensively by ReGen Phoenix in the past, but tonight, without their main support player, Red, who is out saving the world, it's Repsychic subbing in at the support position. And I know this man loves to play himself some Lucio, and I would not be surprised if we see that selected right now with just 3 seconds remaining for ReGen Phoenix. I'm wrong. It's Malfurion. Probably a smarter pick, though. They have the Garrosh. They're going to have those tosses. The roots from Malf could enable some kills along with the Leeming, and you get that burst damage along with the Cursed Bullet Greymane. I know ReGen Retro likes running this comp. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so this comp is really scary. They have the Deny for days from Malfurion off of the Moonfire, but anyone who gets thrown, including the ETC, should die.
Leoric, Maiev, two heroes that can help disrupt some of that. You're going to get that Warden's Cage, perhaps, from Maiev, and Entomb from Leoric, which could, you know, kind of swing things around. If Li Ming gets stuck in there, it's really hard for her to escape with her squishy health bar. Even Greymane could be in trouble if Maiev can be a nuisance that she's made to be. One pick remaining, and it's the newest player on this ReGen Phoenix roster, Snazzy, yet to select their hero. And this should be for the offlane. It's going to be Sonya. All right, Ult, heading into this game number 1 after seeing these drafts, where's your head at right now?
So both teams are looking pretty even. You do have a lot more burst on the side of Phoenix. So we're going to be looking probably some, hopefully, early Ancestral uses on anyone who gets thrown. Because if that doesn't go off, then they're goners.
All right, chat, I'm opening up a poll right now asking you who you think is going to win game number 1. Will it be ReGen Phoenix or the Illidancing Queens? And just like that, the poll is open. Go ahead and check above your chat. Hit that drop down. Select the team you want to win game number 1 and hit the submit button. And we'll see who you guys are choosing. I think a couple votes are already piling in, so keep them coming. As we wish best of luck to both of these teams entering the opening round of the ReGen Invitational. Of Of course, you got to shout out our sponsors here. We got Nexus Gaming Series Season 9 just around the corner. And, of course, our charity we're working with, Military and Veteran Gamers. If you want to find out how to donate, !MVG in chat or !donate. And if you're looking for more commands, !bracket if you want to check out the action that's going on. We're just loading in. I don't know what's taking so long, but we'll be there shortly. Shout out in chat. I see Lil Bear 2 hanging out, saying hello to Arrow, and Slexia is here. I believe she's casting a match later on this evening, so be sure to check her out. Twitch.tv/Slexia. Give her a follow. Give her a sub if you really want to say thanks for doing some of this casting work here during the event, as I think we are about to be fully loaded in here, Ult.
There we go. So from level 1, I think Phoenix is going to have the better pick comp, so they should be really looking to be aggressive early on. Maybe snowball their lead from there.
Well, let's introduce this ReGen Phoenix squad here on the left-hand side. We got Snazzy playing the Sonya, Arrow on Garrosh, Rabid Penguin going to be sporting the gray mane, Repsychic on Malfurion, and down here in the bottom lane we see Li-Ming being played by Darabo. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for ReGen Phoenix.
5, 4.
Alright, and on the other side here, we're going to have Seztrin on Sylvanas, Born to Shine on Rhaegar, Yutaru on Maiev, and Dax on Leoric, and Pina Colada on the ETC.
And that is the Illidancing Queens.
Yep, Illidancing Queens.
Check out these level 1 talents. Ooh, I like this. Unfurling Shadows for Sylvanas, and maybe opportunity to get some extra auto attacks off onto this Garrosh when he's in range. If you can get the stacks up, you get the W on, and that's a lot of damage later on in the game. So going to be scaling throughout is Sylvanas, as we see already set up in the bottom lane Darabo here on Li-Ming, along with Arrow holding the view. So it should be easy for Darabo to get out, and just like that, they're back on their way up to mid.
Alright, we just see some sportsman-like sprays, some good camaraderie between the teams here in the bottom lane.
Ooh, you love to see it. Who was I casting last night? It was Zirconium League and Team Training Wheels, and like the first 15 seconds of game 1, they were just all spraying and spraying. It was a lot of fun. Definitely love to see it. Here's going to be our first siege camp of the game, taken right away by ReGen Phoenix, and just now starting on the opposite side are the Illidancing Queens, and I think Arrow's going to check it out. He shouldn't see this ETC, but a nice bush check there by Garrosh, going to reveal Pina Colada standing there. But no attempt at any sort of invade by ReGen Phoenix, instead just going to try to slam their own sappers in, but here's ETC and Rhaegar in defense. And all three will connect. Good roots there onto ETC after the throw from Arrow. And ultimately, it's going to be the front wall here on this bottom lane fort on the side of Illidancing Queens falling to those 3 sappers. Maiev looking for a tether, ends up getting tossed. There's Yutaru now standing in those roots from Repsychic. Well placed, but Maiev should be able to get out of this unless if Rabid Penguin can find a kill with a cocktail. Not going to connect after it bounces off Born to Shine. So still no first blood, Alton. We're about 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. How's this top lane matchup looking? Looks like Sonya maybe starting to get a bit aggressive onto this sapper camp herself.
Yeah, so the York is just looking to double soak here, but in the meantime, Sonya's going to get that camp, the extra value before the next objective. With how aggressive Phoenix is, I'm thinking they get 2 tributes here.
Oh, that's a Sylvanas getting tossed in the bottom lane, but the roots a little bit too late from Repsychic that time. Nice tether from Maiev pulling back Garrosh, but he should be fine. Another big slow and an enormous orb from Li-Ming, gonna send Yutaru back towards the wall as our first altars are active. It's Sonya and Leoric up top with Snazzy getting the better half of this exchange. And that should push Leoric all the way off. Can Sonya get a double cap here at the top? That'll be interesting to find out. Down the bottom, missed it on stream. It's Sylvanas falling.
So Sonya actually steals the other side while Leoric was dealing with the lane pushing in. Sonya was able to steal it just by seconds.
And now ETC could be in trouble. Good stun there by Garrosh, and the roots to follow up from Malfurion. Damage coming through from Leeming. That'll be the second kill of the game for ReGen Phoenix, and all 3 altars secured.
Yeah, if you didn't catch it there, the Q, the slide from the ETC was actually interrupted by the root. So it was really well timed to cut off his escape.
That camp on the side of ReGen Phoenix just now respawning, and quickly back on top is Greymane and Malfurion. Rabid Penguin going to send these sappers down the bottom lane once again. As you see the opposite side, that siege camp for Illidancing Queens just now respawning. So in position Arrow, trying to make sure no one's in here, along with Leeming going to send some orbs in. But without the help of Greymane and Malfurion, a little bit risky, and I think Darabo realizes that as well. Arrow's going to stand in there though. Finds the toss. Go for it.
Looks like he's gonna make it out here, and the cap is goes through. But we need to see these sappers go through. See if they escort him in.
It should be the turret in the bottom side. Oh, and there's another toss. This one landing on the Sylvanas. And Sestrin will fall as the sappers are here in the lane now for Illidancing Queens, but they're right up against a wall of blue. 4 heroes here from ReGen Phoenix, able to clear these out with ease. Now ready to push in a minion wave towards his bottom lane fort as the next altar just being announced. Oh, this is already a huge lead for ReGen Phoenix. It's a level and a quarter. And 12 shots on the core, which is the hardest thing to have to worry about.
Yeah, with how far and pushed in top, I mean, we should see 10 go towards to Phoenix before the objective spawns, or just about as. I mean, probably one more wave would be enough here. A couple of minions in the mid wave will get it.
No one on the altar as it spawns, playing it a bit slower, but they do have that level 10 advantage, and Illidancing Queens not wanting to play too aggressive. But speaking of aggressive, here's Snazzy mid lane. 4 heroes on him, but the whirlwinds are working, keeping himself alive. Now showing up Tree Psychic, going to be able to provide some healing for Sonya. And they'll all survive. Still 3-0 on the kill count, and haven't seen any kills since level 10 yet for ReGen Phoenix. Let's take a look at some of these talents, though. We did get that Cursed Bullet for Greymane, Wave of Force for Leeming, and the Twilight Dream for Malfurion. But perhaps my favorite, and I keep telling everyone, there's no other selection for Sonya. It's just the Leap, as you see another big toss there from Garrosh getting a kill on Maiev. But I do love the heroic selection on the Sonya. Alt, what are your thoughts on that specific pick?
So I was really expecting to see Wrath, just because how long Sonya was alive there mid lane. It was 1v4 and just kept sustaining. And then I looked, and she hadn't picked her ult yet. The fight was 1v4, and there's no ult to be seen.
That will be the first keep of the game for ReGen Phoenix, and we do see they do have a siege camp available on their side of the map here in the bottom lane, as well as the one up top where Leoric soaking by himself right now. Still 5 heroes from ReGen Phoenix here in this bottom lane trying to play defense on this fort, as another siege camp going to be activated right next to them. This could be trouble now. Here comes ETC, finds the slide, only hits onto Garrosh. Now with Maiev walking in, looking for the tether and the stage dive right on top, along with that wailing arrow from Sylvanas. A lot of damage, but still no one's down. I think that ancestral heal may have hit the wrong target. Not quite sure, but it ends up being a triple kill. Sappers are collected, altar on the map, and it's already a 16-shot lead, and it's about to be a whole lot more.
Yeah, with both the objective here and the sappers that are about to go in here, I don't think Rhaegar will get there in time to really, or even if he gets there in time, not much he can do to stop these from pushing in. That's another 3 shots towards Illidancing.
And back on the siege camp once again is Rabid Penguin, looking for more sappers in the bottom lane. And up in the top, it's Snazzy, that new solo lane player for ReGen Phoenix, working on the top lane siege camp. Big wave there as well for Sonya when she finishes that, but we're going to watch this action in the bottom lane as sappers are coming, and a defense is trying to be mounted here by ReGen Phoenix on this bottom lane fort. Power sliding in, ETC looking for it. Roots are there, but a good cleanse by Rhaegar that time, going to make sure ETC's alive, but he actually went back into the root somehow. I think knocked in by Leeming's force wave. A triple kill for ReGen Phoenix and 3 more sappers across the goal line. Here's Maev at mid, the only one standing in defense as ReGen Phoenix thinking about finding more structures, and it's the mid lane they want this time. Top lane, the fort's already sitting at 75% health, so if they're able to get through this mid fort, they could potentially swing it into a 6 cap, but it's 5 heroes on the map currently for Illidancing Queens, although they're down those level 13 talents. They gotta be looking for a fight, because if both these altars are picked up, that's gonna be 5 shots, sending the Queens down to just 3 core health.
So we're going to see the Sylvanas try to use their trait to desperately get this tower down, but it might be their demise here.
Big taunt by Arrow, gonna lock in a few as Born to Shine's gonna fall first in the fight. Rhaegar's out, no healing, means Maev will fall as well. The double kill's been secured. 2 altars on the map now. Can ReGen Phoenix end this perfect game at this point? Still 40 core health. These double altars are getting ready, but they might want to wait until they can capture this middle before they try to close it out. But it looks like Li Ming went ahead and grabbed it anyway. Sonya just wants the boss. Oh boy.
Yep, so
Leo's going to check it out? Oh, Leo didn't check it. They have no idea. I think this is it.
Oh, they're responding.
Oh, stage dive coming in. ETC looking for it, but tossed out by Garrosh. And it will be the end of the game. 40-0 shutout for ReGen Phoenix. So let's take a look at this match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series and Military and Veteran Gamers. Wow, 13-0 is the kill count in favor of ReGen Phoenix, but the Illidancing Queens, I think maybe have a chance to rebound after a match like that. I think maybe the map is what swung them off their game a bit. They fell behind early. They weren't able to establish a presence in the bottom lane. Ult, what's it gonna take now for Illidancing Queens to rebound after that first map?
It sounds like for them, they just need a map that they're comfortable on. They're well aware of the macro decisions and where to go at what times. Here they kind of were snowballed a little bit from just constant picks from a pick comp. So if they on the next map, if Phoenix decides to continue using that type of draft, they might want to try to secure the Johanna instead of banning it and take things that are a little harder to kill.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Not that I think ETC played poorly. I thought it was fine. But perhaps having that self-cleanse with the Iron Skin can help get out of a few more of those situations. Notably, the roots coming down from Malfurion there in game number 1 were on point from Recyclic. So shout out to the support play on the side of ReGen Phoenix. Let's take a look at these talents before we move on. The stage dive selection, I kind of liked it. It almost saved the day a couple times. That sapper camp in the bottom lane when it came in, I thought that fight was looking pretty good for the Illidancing Queens. Ultimately didn't net a kill, but I definitely appreciate the aggression, and certainly in game number 2, if they go back to that, I think they have potential to make that work. Let me just let Arrow know it's his map pick. And let's swap back on over to the webcam scene. I'm going to take a quick moment to talk about Military and Veteran Gamers, the charity we're working with. It's a really awesome cause. What they do is collect money. They package up these care packages, which they send to military veterans suffering with PTSD and depression. It's just like a care package. So you get maybe bags of chips, some candy bars. Maybe there's a new Xbox controller in there. They're really focused at helping use gaming as a form of therapy almost for these people who have, the depression issues, the PTSD. So it's an amazing cause. Every dollar you guys are contributing really does go a long way. So if you want to contribute, !donate in chat right now. or you can do !MVG to find out more information about military and veteran gamers. I do have a very, very brief Patreon ad to run for the Nexus Gaming Series. Season 9 just around the corner. Our placement meet hall is going to be Sunday, April 19th, just a day after the finals here for the ReGen Invitational 3. So one quick second with this quick Patreon ad. And we are back. Welcome. Looks like game number 2. It's going to be chosen again by ReGen Phoenix, and they have selected Tomb of the Spider Queen. Writing that down in my book. So, hard to get a 40-0 shutout on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So, it should look a bit more even here, I'd say. A map that's been in the game for, gosh, nearly the entire time. I think it came out in beta, right? Or shortly thereafter. But it has some changes coming, and I know they're not in the game right now, but Old, have you had a chance to try out Tomb of the Spider Queen and what that core mechanic is there?
Out of all the, I think like the 8 games I played, Tomb hasn't come up once. But from the patch notes, it was talking about how it does the web weavers. You know, that purple wave that they send out.
Oh, the web blast.
Yeah, the web blast. That is what gets sent by the core when you try to defend it. And so that has always been a lot of damage from the objective. So I'd be curious to see it kind of coming from the core and how much damage that will do.
Ooh, you like to see it. Yeah, that sounds fun. What was the one I played? Oh, Garden of Terror. I thought that was pretty cool. It throws out the polymorph circle, and if you stand in it, you get polymorphed, just like the terrors used to be able to do. I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
No, just the little plant thing that they put down.
So it's just like a throwback to the old Terror on Garden of Terror, where you could pilot it and throw down the little circle. But I thought that was pretty interesting. And what was the other one? Oh, Sky Temple. It shoots off the tornadoes, so you gotta dodge the tornadoes the entire time. I thought that sounded pretty cool. Oh, I'm host. Look at that. Rip. Make observer. Make observer. Make player. Make host. Boom, I did it.
Execute Order 66.
Arrow RG has just donated $50.
Whoa.
Thanks, Murda. You're the best. Always appreciate what you do.
Whoa. Arrow dropping the $50. Appreciate that. Sending our goal another 10% up to 46. Woo! Really appreciate it, Arrow. Thank you so much, and best of luck in the matchup. You're actively playing in it. Looking good so far for ReGen Phoenix. And at the same time, we may have missed it, but it is Repsychic hitting the 24-month resubscription here on twitch.tv/murdarg. One of my longest friends here in the scene, and certainly one of my longest subscribers. So special recognition on the 2-year mark, Rec. Congratulations, my friend. Currently waiting on one more player here in our lobby. Who is it that we're missing? We have Sestrin, Yotaru, Born to Shine, Dax, and who was the final player that we can shame for being late? Oh, Pina Colada.
Pina Colada.
Okay. It's okay. We'll hang out for a bit. We'll wait. Really in no rush. I don't have any other matches going on after this tonight, but if you are wanting to watch some other matches, Gravesville just going live right now with a matchup between Sky 5 and Deathwing's Hookah Lounge over at twitch.tv/Gravesville. I know I just saw him in the chat, so just like click on his name and hit watch stream or whatever you got to do. Check that stream out. Should be a lot of fun. That's taking place over in the Challenger bracket. If you're like, what the heck is a Challenger bracket? What's an invitational bracket? We have 2 different brackets for this event. Completely separate tournaments. The Challenger bracket is designed for Division S, NGS Heroic Division and NGS Division A. and the Invitational bracket reserved for NGS Division B, C, and D teams. So split by skill. And if you want to check them out specifically, it is !bracket. Send you over to the challenge website where we have them hosted. And you can check out who's in the lead. You can check out when the matches will be taking place and where they'll be taking place as well, which is the coolest feature. What else we got here? Looks like they are ready to go. I'm ready to go. We're all ready to go. Game number 2 will be Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Arrow has told me he's ready to start it up. Dun-dun-dun.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Tomb of the Spider Queen.
I like this map. The Johanna you mentioned after game number 1 as being one of those heroes that perhaps the Illidancing Queen should consider for themselves. We're now over on Tomb of the Spider Queen, where she's an S-tier tank on this map, Ult. Does that make it a bit harder for them to leave her through this draft?
Yeah, that's definitely a first pick or first ban this game, in addition to kind of Zool. Like, before Zool was reworked, this was his map. So like, we're gonna see those banned or picked this game.
100% agree. It is going to be the Illidancing Queens with that first pick once again, so they're going to be able to play it how they want to play it. And so far, just showing a ban on Rexar, not really going too deep into any sort of meta pool here. So it's going to be ReGen Phoenix having to be the ones to ban away the Zool. We did see the Sonya played game 1 by Snazzy in the solo lane up against the Leoric from the Illidancing Queens, and I thought the Sonya had some value. The leap worked out along with the taunts from the Garrosh and the Roots, so it just added that extra layer of CC. And it had a dominant lane matchup against the Leoric as well, which I think should be somewhat more even than we saw in that game 1. I know Leo was able to get up and down the lanes and double soak a bit better, which might play more to his advantage here on Tomb of the Spider Queen. But thoughts on where that solo lane might go? We do see the Rexar taken out, now finally that Johanna being banned as well. Do you think maybe the Queens force out the Deathwing pick now to help them out with some sort of wave clear?
So Deathwing would be good for two reasons. Two really big reasons, other than him just being really powerful. You can't really gank him. He's very difficult to pick. With that being what happened last game, with just small little kills every now and then, with the Deathwing that's not going to happen, but we could still see it in their 4-man. Like, Deathwing doesn't have to be a solo laner. Or Phoenix takes it here.
Well, they didn't take it in game number 1 in a similar position. They ended up banning it away with their final ban. So does Arrow change his mind here as the captain of this draft? And looks like they're going to stick with a similar no Deathwing plan. They're going to grab that ETC, though, and pair it in with a Jaina.
They go here, but it's very similar to last draft, just minus the Garrosh. But the ETC slide on anyone with the Jaina follow-up is really high burst, really high pick potential. If ETC just watches their rotations, you can catch anyone off guard.
Ooh, I like this. They find a Diablo pick on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Plenty of minions to make sure that Black Soulstone is going to be all the way tippy-topped off for most of the game. And the Stukov, a healer that was banned out in game number 1, thought to be a threat as a selection for ReGen Phoenix, perhaps Born to Shine taking it just to neutralize that of even being any sort of choice for them. So 3 seconds left, and it won't be the Deathwing ban this time from Phoenix. It's going to be Maiev, who was chosen in game number 1 by the Queens.
The Maiev must have caused a lot of problem for them last game with the groupings and keeping everyone together. Plus, you have another way to kind of counter the Mosh.
You're right.
Or prevent it from happening. Get some zoning potential.
Final ban for the Illidancing Queens will be Imperious, leaving the Deathwing even longer in this draft. But I just don't think either team wants it. It's if it was going to be picked, it would have been picked to this point, and I think both captains now realizing that, just not worried about it at all.
Yeah, it's very possible they just don't enjoy playing him. I've heard a lot of people just be against his playstyle because how clunky it can feel. Personally, I really like him. I'm a little biased towards him.
So I mentioned Lucio during the Game 1 draft as being a potential pick for Recyclic. We will get to see it here in Game number 2, which is going to leave just 2 picks now for IQ in the red side. Seztrin and Yotaru waiting for their selections. 5 seconds on this clock, still needing some damage. They don't have any of it yet, just a solo lane, tank, and support. So it's going to be Kel'Thuzad as the mage and Raynor as the gunner. I know Kel'Thuzad's in your repertoire, Ult. Thoughts on it here in this matchup? Ooh, that changes it right there.
Yeah, that Medivh is the counter pick. The only benefit now of the Kel'Thuzad is his CC. So any bursts Medivh should be on top of it. That's really rough counter pick there.
Yeah, maybe some smart picking. I know I've seen Darabo play Medivh in the past, but it's going to have to be on full display this time to shut down that especially dangerous damage from Kel'Thu freaking Zod. Thoughts on the matchup overall? Do you think that final pick is just going to sway it in the favor of ReGen Phoenix, or does the Illidancing Queens have a shot at taking this game number 2?
So Medivh counters Kel'Thuzad. However, they did take double mage. So if Illidancing Queens kind of survives the initial cooldowns from Jaina and Medivh, I think the Raynor will actually outdamage them, and they should be able to turn around fights. They just have to live through that initial shock.
Well, chat, I just opened up our poll for game number 2. If you want to let us know who you want to win this match, go ahead and click above your chat, select the team, and hit submit. And watch your votes tally up live on stream here as we load on in to game number 2. Over here on the left-hand side, we got ReGen Phoenix. It's Rabid Penguin on the Jaina. Recyclic playing one of his favorite heroes, Lucio. Snazzy on the Malthael. Arrow playing ETC. And up in the sky, it's a bird. It's a plane. Nope, it's Darabo playing Medivh. Once again, they are ReGen Phoenix.
On the side of Illidancing Queens, we're going to have Born to Shine on the Stukov, Seztrin on the Kel'Thuzad, Yotaru on Raynor, Dax on Sonya, and the Pina Coladas on Diablo.
Alright, so level 1, it's going to be Ace in the hole for Raynor. I think this is a smart pick. Sometimes you might end up seeing something like Exterminator here just to help with the wave clear a bit, but they're going to be able to rely a little bit on the Kel'Thuzad as well, going into a chain build at level 1. That's Barb Chain selected by Seztrin. As the opening abilities have been thrown out here at mid, it's the Blizzard from Jaina getting the better exchange, and now a Power Slide from Arrow, sending Kel'Thuzad into a horrible place. He'll be the first blood of the game as a Force of Will, going to make sure Snazzy taking limited damage from those towers.
Now, that Medivh portal is going to help really well with these rotations. Kel'Thuzad is most of their clear, and with this early pick, it's going to force Sonya to have to clear for them and double rotate versus this Malthael.
And just remaining in vision is Darabo up in that Raven form, now getting vision onto Diablo and Raynor here in the top lane. Recyclic skating around the walls trying to harass and make sure these rotations are as slow as humanly possible. And the Queen's now back at full strength, trying to regather their steps here, joining up with Diablo in the top lane. Let's take a look at that Black Soul Stone, already at 18 stacks. I mentioned Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of the faster maps for Diablo to get those stacks up, and they're going to be relying a lot on Pina Colada here in this game number 2, as they find themselves in a bit of trouble, falling below the 50% health mark, but good supporting behind by Born to Shine, keeping Diablo alive.
And the Diablo there does also have the regen talent, the Devils do. So any globes he takes is going to almost instantly put him back to full.
A very astute point you make there, Ultanian. bottom lane matchup. They're going to swap out the Malthael after grabbing that bottom lane siege camp and send Malthael over to the bruiser camp now. Snazzy able to take that pretty quickly, grabbing that die alone talent at level 4. That won't really help, but plenty of Q healing, allowing him to grab that camp all by his lonesome, a specialty of Malthael.
Now, if we check in bottom lane here, the Medivh is protecting the siege giants pretty well. I mean, those giants have gotten the bottom tower, and we have Malthael rotating for a turn in, and then maybe a kill on Sonya. She's getting pretty low.
And look at the stacks, 17 already, 18 make it on Arcane Rift for Darabo, and that's just about halfway through. Looking good for Medivh, now looking to turn in 9 gems of his own. And with the 2 up top from Repsychic, that's going to put them dangerously close. Just 2 more gems needed before they have enough for this first turn-in.
Looks like they have enough.
They certainly do. Rabid Penguin only holding on to 10. Going to need a few from Arrow to be cashed in as well, as they're trying to push back the members here of Illidancing Queens, but they're not going to have enough space to get the turn-in. Yotaru and Pina Colada now starting to channel their own, but in defense now, Repsychic, Darabo trying to throw out some abilities. And it'll just be the 4 getting in there from Illidancing Queens. Bottom lane, Sonya's not here. Siege Giant still alive, sitting on how much health? 47 health. So pretty low, but it got a lot of value there, Ult. And speaking of value, yeah, go for it. Yeah, full wall, and a significant portion there onto the well, and a touch onto the fort as well. As we see the first web weavers of the game, Arrow in a bit of trouble, getting flipped around, I imagine, from the Diablo. I don't know how he would have ended up there otherwise. And falling below that 50% health mark, gonna have to rely on Repsychic to revitalize that health bar a bit, as the web weaver here in the mid lane starting up its first web blast. Looks like Phoenix going to rotate towards the top and try to siege up there, which might be the smarter move, as you see 4 heroes in defense from the Illidancing Queens at the mid lane. Still here in the attack mode, Arrow along with Repsychic and Rabid Penguin. Now on the other side, we do see Kel'Thuzad showing up, looking to get those stacks going. Master of the Coldar currently sitting at 11 stacks, so a little bit longer to go, but another scaling hero for Seztran after, I believe, was the one playing the Sylvanas in game number 1 with that Unfurling Shadows talent. I think Kel'Thuzad could actually have an easier time of making value of the early game stacks. What are your thoughts there? Would you rather have an Unfurling Shadows Sylvanas late game or a stacked up Kel'Thuzad?
Okay, yeah, stacked up Kel'Thuzad for sure.
Okay. That was the point I was trying to get to.
Okay.
$31 gems in the hands of Pina Colada, trying to turn them in down bottom, but you see up in the sky Medivh revealing everything that's going on. So good defense so far from ReGen Phoenix, keeping eyes on these egg spawners and working on finding more gems to throw in the bank. They have some of the position. Oh, go for it, down bottom. I see it.
Yeah, we just we have Malthael on Sonya there, but actually the Medivh is finished with his quest.
Oh, yeah, that's a really good point. Arcane Rift completed. We're before the 6-minute mark, so quick work by Darabo as the fight's breaking out mid. Not wanting to take it quite yet is ReGen Phoenix, so close to level 10. Trying to hold out as long as they can and try to ensure that none of these gems are getting turned in by the Illidancing Queens. But once again, it's Pina Colada and Born to Shine trying to hang out around this topside turn-in. And now it's all the heroes from ReGen Phoenix showing up on the top, with Medivh landing that huge leyline seal, followed up by that Ring of Frost. It's 1, 2, and 3 kills for ReGen Phoenix. And do they have enough gems? They do now for another turn-in, and a whole bunch hit the floor for the Illidancing Queens.
Surprisingly, after 3 kills, though, Illidancing Queen still has enough for a turn-in. If the Medivh doesn't get it all here, they could turn it in and try to use it as a defense against the boss here.
Well, Medivh's going to try to scout this out as ReGen Phoenix is up in the top lane trying to grab this boss. Will the Illidancing Queens be able to run up here and have any sort of disruption? Looks like the answer will be no. Boss summoned in the top lane as ReGen Phoenix still holding on to the gems they need for this turn-in. Sonya cashes in a whole bunch down bottom, but still just 31 is the total count for the Illidancing Queens as we see Rabid Penguin locking in the second Webweaver phase for ReGen Phoenix. There's the boss stun, and now Repsychic joining up, making sure Arrow has a health bar. Pina Colada kind of being bullied around now by ETC as... Was that the ult from Kel'Thuzad? Barely missing. Shadow Fissure wasn't able to secure it onto Arrow, and ultimately it's Diablo falling first, but he has souls. Now 42 gems hit the ground from Stukov. A few of them get picked up by Raynor, but another 20 will expire on the map as ReGen Phoenix continues their push here in the top lane, now with the Webweaver joining them. Web Blast again as Sestrin trying to step up with those chains from Kel'Thuzad. Rejoining the fight now is Stukov and Diablo back, but Diablo now without the Soul Stone going to have a limited health pool and has to play a bit more carefully now in defense, knowing that just one big power slide from ETC could be all that ReGen Phoenix needs to be able to kill the big red Diablo. And this mosh pit, maybe that's what they need. Follow-up Ring of Frost and another triple kill for ReGen Phoenix, but this time the fort is active and they need to worry about it, so scooting back is Repsychic. But do they get this keep? I think they do.
Yeah, they can have the mouthfeel tank it, and then they have a catapult here. This is definitely going to them.
There it is. Portal out, and ReGen Phoenix with 35 gems on hand can sit pretty in that top lane. Now if they're able to grab that boss later on, they have themselves a win condition at any moment now. Couple camps on the map, and we do see Sonya working on it. There's Dax for the Illidancing Queens, but showing up is Malthael, reveals it, but doesn't end up walking in. Gets a little scared away, waiting for the team to show up now, and here they come. Leyline Seal is active for Medivh, and there it is, missing all targets. Swipes from Stukov, going to set up the point for the Illidancing Queens. Good grab there by Born to Shine, able to push back ReGen Phoenix. No kills in the fight, but a good success story that time for IQ.
Really decided to kind of back out of the fight once the cap was completed, because that spell armor is really going to turn these fights around if they decide to stay and fight in that.
Yeah, I agree. I think the moment they lost it, really no reason to be there. They didn't appear to be getting any kills. The Leyline Seal, although a very smart idea to throw it out in that situation, just didn't end up netting the result they were looking for. So you can really credit the Illidancing Queens for probably suspecting that was coming and wisely sidestepping as Sonya caught out by multiple heroes here in the bottom lane, holding on to 19 gems, trying to whirlwind, but won't be able to survive. And those gems will expire. No contest as Medivh trying to portal in. Here comes the entire squad of ReGen Phoenix into a huge silence from Stukov. Another great play from Born to Shine, helping pick up a kill for IQ. And they might be able to turn this into more. Swipes coming out as, oh no, it's going to be Diablo falling on the backside as now Lucio helping speed up ReGen Phoenix into this fight. Stukov will fall as well. Leyline Seal connects from distance onto Kel'Thuzad. And now with Lucio here in ETC, Sestrin could fall as well, and he will. A Daredevil, oh my god, 100 health. Not like this. Arrow, what are you doing? Look at the spray too, Yotaru, I love it. Let's go, B-step, yes. Oh my god, let's go. Best moment of the entire tournament right there. You guys just watched it. Alright, as I regain my composure, we see Malthael here on the bottom lane working on that siege camp as it's full strength on both sides again. Illidancing Queens back here, but they have to worry about clearing out this bruiser camp at mid. Plenty of wave clear, though, from Kel'Thuzad, able to help clear this out, but they won't be able to save that well, which could be a contributing factor later on. We'll have to keep an eye out. Without that well anywhere in the middle of the map, it's much harder to sustain in some of those longer team fights. So look for ReGen Phoenix to try to pressure down this mid fort as quickly as they can, but maybe, no, they will. Level 16 talent advantage. They want this boss again, Oltanian.
Yep. We're going for the boss in turn. If the red team doesn't respond quick enough here, this looks like they will go for end.
And there will be no response. This should be revealed on the map. I mean, the boss has the icon on the mini-map. The web weavers respond, and all of the mercs should have disappeared, but the boss didn't. But no response without the level 16s. They're going to have to defend against this web weaver and the boss in an open lane without a keep. Can ReGen Phoenix close it out here before the Illidancing Queens can reach level 16?
Red team's core is under attack.
We're going to follow this action, boss, passing where that keep used to be as Snazzy up front on the mouthfeel trying to poke away at Diablo. Pina Colada going to walk back into the base and mount up as the boss approaches the core. Now there's the Hyperion from Raynor trying to shut this down as the Leyline Seal hits 2 targets. Where's the Ring of Frost? We're not going to see it yet. Jaina's going to hold it back as Kel'Thuzad trying to apply some damage. There comes the barrier from Lucio trying to prevent it for ReGen Phoenix, but still no kills until this mosh pit comes out from Arrow. Double kill for ReGen Phoenix. Another Leyline Seal is going to connect here, and this time could be too much for the Illidancing Queens to deal with. Game number 2 and the set are going to go over to ReGen Phoenix. And apologies, I just realized I never updated the score after game 1. That actually was game number 2. If there was confusion, I'm so sorry. But let's check out the match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series and Military and Veteran Gamers. Ult, what a completely different set than I thought was going to happen tonight. I was really hoping the Illidancing Queens were going to come out here and maybe knock some teeth in of ReGen Phoenix a bit, and it's not necessarily what we ended up seeing tonight. What was the contributing factor in your mind? What made the biggest difference for Phoenix to be able to take the set tonight?
I would say it's their, again, like the first game. They just got picks after pick. The ETC isn't really scared to dive into them because early game the Kel'Thuzad doesn't really have kill pressure. So you're just the Raynor that you're really scared of. So early game they just lost a lot of picks. Plus you have block parties, so the only early game damage you have going out was getting reduced by the Raynor. So there wasn't much he could do.
It's very true. I thought outstanding play from Darabo on the Medivh, a smart final pick flexing into that support mage, and was able to stack up really early. I think it was before the 6-minute mark, and the Leyline Seal is on multiple occasions helping net some multi-kills for ReGen Phoenix. Let's take a look at this talent screen. Before we try to hop into an interview, I got Snazzy above us there. Let's just go ahead and pull him on in here, Ult. Snazzy, how's it going? Your first time getting to play here with ReGen Phoenix and your first win. It's a 2-0 victory, and you look pretty good tonight. How you feeling?
Oh, good, yeah.
Let me turn you up a bit here. Hold on.
Am I
All right, there we
coming
go.
okay?
Yeah. I just maxed you out now.
Perfect. Yeah, it was definitely a good time. It's fun to play with Arrow and Darabo. Definitely enjoyed Arrow's feeding at the end there, but
Oh, it's clip worthy.
I've been told to get used to that. So.
So game number 1, you play the Sonya, and I can tell that you're a man of culture because you know exactly what to do at level 10. It's the leap. Tell me why it's the better pick every single time, because I already know the answer, but people at home, they just don't understand it yet.
I mean, well, first off, it's just more fun, but
Thank you.
Really though, anytime that I see Maiev coming out, their whole strat's probably going to be huge combo. So I just shutting that down, counter comboing, it's pretty fun. So.
And game number 2, of course, getting to play the Malthael, another solo lane specialist, and I don't think you died in either game. Let me go back and check. Yeah, you had no deaths game 1, no deaths in game 2, so Someone on your team's got to say thank you for some good gameplay out of the solo lane today. How did the matchup feel, though? Game 1 against the Leo, Game 2 up against the Sonya. Did you feel you had the better end of both of those matchups?
I mean, yeah, I don't think that anything was too lopsided either way, but I was really in the second game just doing a lot of soaking, so someone's got to do it, right? So
and so just joining the team, of course, this is I think your first like true competitive match together outside of maybe that spam tournament you guys are playing in. But how does it feel to play some real maps in a real pressure situation with this new squad? Is everything starting to meld together for you guys, or do you feel there's maybe a couple more steps you got to take as you move through this tournament?
I think everything's coming together nicely. The spam tournament I'm not in, so
okay.
Yeah, so this is the first one that I'm up with these guys, and yeah, it's just seems pretty chill environment. So I've just been playing with these guys for a couple weeks and running some scrims and everything, and so yeah, I think I'm lucky that solo lane kind of doesn't have to, I don't have to be super on board. The team's a little bit easier to fit in right away,
Right.
I'm kind of off doing my own thing and then just joining for team fights and whatever else. So
I know the drill. I was stuck in the solo lane my whole career, so I always get to commiserate with my fellow solo lane players out there. So tonight it looked really good. Ult, do you have any questions here for Snazzy, or any thoughts overall on the set you want to talk about?
Yeah, only one here. Deathwing. Was there any consideration or talk about him why he wasn't banned in the second game versus the first?
Well, I mean, we just didn't want to go up against Deathwing in the in the matchup there, really. But I think I would have been okay having the mouth out pick into him, so not too worried about that matchup. Leap Sonya is not going to do too much against him, but so not necessarily something I want to go up against without any way to control him, obviously. But I don't know. He just not something that we're super worried about, I guess. I know you're saying that in the stream that you like to play him a lot, right? Who was saying that?
That was Ult, yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
So, but I don't know. I guess he just doesn't really fit in so much with either comps that we're playing, and I know he's a decent solo laner too, but not necessarily something I usually play. So,
well, for me, I think the absence tonight of Deathwing, you need a break every once in a while, and here tonight on stream we got exactly that. And I think the comps we got, especially having that Medivh in game number 2 with that Leyline seal, just a bit more interesting than what we've seen recently in Heroes of the Storm. So I got to credit you guys with some fantastic drafting tonight, some fantastic gameplay, and ultimately the domination victory tonight, sending you guys into the quarterfinals of the ReGen Invitational 3. Have you guys had a chance to look forward ahead in the bracket who your potential opponents are going to be? It looks like either Die for Vision or House of Ches. Has Arrow talked about these teams at all and started to prep you guys at all?
I certainly know that everyone else on the team is pretty well familiar with everybody else, but Arrow is pretty much catching me up on everything, so I'm going to have to take a look. I'll probably look back at some past games too, but no, for the most part, I'm just getting caught up on stuff, trying to get in and, trying to make a smooth transition, because I know these guys were really good last season, finishing second, right? So just trying to get caught up, and so yeah.
Quickly want to say thank you. A couple follows coming through in chat from Wombo Combo and MMA. Oh wait, M Maverick. That's a hard one. I think it's just Maverick. We're gonna call you Maverick. Snazzy, as is customary here on stream, after you do a friendly interview like this, I got to give you some time for some shout outs. So my friend, the floor is yours.
Oh, shout out to those two follows. That those are just my friends following. So Wombo Combo and Maverick, just nice watching the stream. Probably gonna do some brawls later, I'm guessing, some Storm League or something.
Awesome. Love to see the support. Thank you, those guys, for showing up, hitting that follow button. And Snazzy, thank you for the interview. Congratulations on the win. Go celebrate with your team.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for doing all the casting and stuff. You guys are great.
No worries, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much.
So, Ult, we got to cast a game together. How did it feel? You have some fun tonight?
Yeah, it was some enjoyable games. We saw some good combos come out.
think the combos are what make it real. They make it exciting. I think you're exactly right. If you guys at home are wanting to follow more ReGen Invitational 3, head on over right now to twitch.tv/Gravesville or twitch.tv/Slexia. A couple matches going on. I think Gravesville's got Sky 5 versus Deathwing's Hookah Lounge, and Slexia is casting in 30 minutes. She'll be starting Please Clap versus Clouded Minds. So if you want to check out Weenus, make sure you go to Slexia at 10 o'clock. But that's all we got for tonight. You want to let these guys know where they might be able to find you at home?
Uh,
I guess you don't want anyone to find you. That's fine, too.
yeah, no, I'd like to stay in.
Okay, he wants to stay hidden. Touche. I actually didn't even put like a Twitter handle or anything on stream for you, so they don't know what you look like. They just know your name is Oltanian. If you want to find him, you can DM him on Discord and then have him yell at me for telling you to do that. If you want to follow me over on Twitter, I am at MurdaRG. Of course, you guys already know the home of me is right here on Twitch, twitch.tv/MurdaRG. And if you are a true scholar, you'll head on over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button over there to get all of the latest VODs that happen here on my channel. Thank you so much for stopping in tonight. I'd be remiss if I didn't say make sure you're following Nexus Gaming Series as well. And if you want to contribute to this charity, Military and Veteran Gamers, we are at 46%. And every single dollar you contribute will help us meet that goal. We're going to be running this event until the 18th, and I think we're only on day 3, and we're almost halfway there, so huge support from you guys. Big thank you from me. I know a big thank you from MVG and NGS as well. We'll be back tomorrow night with some more action, where I will be casting ReGen Ghost at 9 p.m. up against Ban Cho. Right back here, twitch.tv/MurdaRG. Oltanian, thank you once again for being my co-host tonight. You did a fantastic job. And until next time, stream, we will see you in the Nexus.